A life well lived, remembering Jimmy Carter. The world mourns the loss of a remarkable leader, a tireless humanitarian, and a true American icon. On December 29, 2024, former President Jimmy Carter passed away peacefully at his home in Plains, Georgia, at the age of 100. His long and impactful life serves as a testament to the power of faith, integrity, and an unwavering commitment to serving others. From his humble beginnings in rural Georgia to the Oval Office and beyond, Jimmy Carter dedicated himself to making the world a better, more just, and more peaceful place. Jimmy Carter's life story is one of service, both in the halls of power and in the far corners of the globe. He lived his faith openly, never shying away from his belief in the inherent goodness of humanity and the need for compassion in a world often driven by conflict and division. His presidency, though marked by both triumphs and tribulations, reflected his deep-seated commitment to human rights, diplomacy, and peace. Yet, it was perhaps in the decades after he left the White House that Jimmy Carter truly came into his own, redefining the role of a former president and leaving an indelible mark on the world stage. Through the Carter Center, which he founded with his wife Rosalind, he tirelessly championed causes such as global health, conflict resolution, and the advancement of democracy. As we reflect on the life and legacy of Jimmy Carter, we remember a man who never sought the easy path, but always chose the path of principle and purpose. He taught us that true leadership is found not in the pursuit of power, but in the selfless act of serving others. His life and his work stand as a beacon of hope and inspiration for generations to come. From Plains to the Presidency, the early life of Jimmy Carter. Born James Earl Carter Jr. on October 1, 1924 in Plains, Georgia, Jimmy Carter's early life was deeply rooted in the rural South. He grew up in a time of segregation and witnessed firsthand the injustices faced by African Americans. These experiences would profoundly shape his worldview and his commitment to social justice. After graduating from the United States Naval Academy in 1946, Carter served in the Navy's submarine force. Following his father's death, he returned to Plains in 1953 to take over the family's peanut farming business. This period instilled in him a strong work ethic and a deep connection to the land and its people. Carter's entry into politics began with service in local government. He served in the Georgia State Senate from 1963 to 1967, and as governor of Georgia from 1971 to 1975. As governor, he gained a reputation as a progressive Southern Democrat, focusing on education, environmental protection, and racial equality. His success in Georgia propelled him onto the national stage. In 1976, he launched a long-shot bid for the presidency, campaigning on a message of honesty, integrity, and a return to traditional American values. Carter's outsider status and his message of hope resonated with an electorate disillusioned by the Vietnam War and the Watergate scandal. His victory over incumbent President Gerald Ford marked the beginning of a new chapter in American history. The Georgia governor, a stepping stone to the White House. Jimmy Carter's tenure as Georgia's governor from 1971 to 1975 proved to be a pivotal period in his political ascent. It was during these years that he honed his leadership skills, established his political identity, and laid the groundwork for his future presidential bid. Carter's governorship was marked by a commitment to progressive ideals, fiscal responsibility, and a deep belief in the power of education. Upon taking office, Carter boldly declared in his inaugural address, "The time for racial discrimination is over." These words signaled a new era in Georgia politics and reflected Carter's unwavering commitment to dismantling segregation and promoting racial equality. He appointed a record number of African Americans to state positions, earning him both praise and criticism in a state still grappling with the legacy of Jim Crow. In addition to his focus on civil rights, Carter prioritized education reform, increasing funding for public schools, and expanding early childhood education programs. He also displayed a strong commitment to environmental protection, creating a State Department of Natural Resources and implementing policies to safeguard Georgia's natural beauty. Carter's governorship was not without its challenges. He faced opposition from conservative lawmakers, and his efforts to consolidate state agencies drew criticism from some quarters. However, his ability to navigate these political waters and achieve meaningful progress on a range of issues solidified his reputation as a capable and effective leader. By the time he left office in 1975, Jimmy Carter had transformed Georgia's political landscape and positioned himself as a rising star in the Democratic Party. His record of accomplishment, coupled with his down-to-earth demeanor and his message of hope and renewal, resonated with voters across the country, paving the way for his historic presidential campaign. The 39th President, A Nation Seeks Healing and Hope. In 1977, Jimmy Carter was sworn in as the 39th President of the United States. The nation, still reeling from the Watergate scandal and the Vietnam War, yearned for a leader who could restore trust in government and usher in an era of peace and prosperity. Carter, with his down-to-earth demeanor, his unwavering integrity, and his message of hope and healing, seemed to embody the nation's yearning for a fresh start. Carter's presidency was marked by a commitment to human rights, diplomacy, and peace. He made human rights a cornerstone of his foreign policy, speaking out against abuses around the world and promoting democracy and freedom. He also sought to reduce nuclear tensions, signing the SALT II treaty with the Soviet Union, an agreement aimed at limiting the growth of nuclear arsenals. Domestically, Carter faced a number of challenges, including a struggling economy, high inflation, and an energy crisis. He implemented policies aimed at addressing these issues, but his efforts were often met with mixed results. Despite these challenges, Carter remained committed to his principles, championing environmental protection, energy conservation, and social justice. One of Carter's most significant achievements was his role in brokering the Camp David Accords, a historic peace agreement between Israel and Egypt. These accords, signed in 1978, marked a major breakthrough in the Arab-Israeli conflict and earned Carter widespread praise for his diplomatic skills. Section 5. Triumph and Tragedy. The Camp David Accords and the Iran hostage crisis. Jimmy Carter's presidency was a study in contrasts, marked by both soaring triumphs and crushing disappointments. His diplomatic skills were on full display during the Camp David Accords, where his persistent efforts brought together Egyptian President Anwar Sadat and Israeli Prime Minister Menachem Begin. For 13 days in September 1978, Carter served as both mediator and participant, skillfully navigating the complexities of the Arab-Israeli conflict. The resulting agreement, formalized in a treaty signed at the White House in March 1979, remains a landmark achievement in Middle East peacemaking. It not only led to the normalization of relations between Egypt and Israel, but also established a framework for future negotiations. Carter's role in this historic breakthrough earned him the admiration of the world and solidified his legacy as a peacemaker. However, his presidency was also marred by the Iran hostage crisis, a 444-day ordeal that began in November 1979 when Iranian revolutionaries stormed the U.S. Embassy in Tehran, taking 52 Americans hostage. The crisis became a defining event of Carter's presidency, casting a long shadow over his administration and ultimately contributing to his defeat in the 1980 presidential election. Despite Carter's tireless efforts to secure the release of the hostages, including a daring rescue attempt that ended in tragedy, the crisis remained unresolved until the day he left office. The Iran hostage crisis served as a stark reminder of the complexities of international relations and the limitations of even the most well-intentioned diplomacy. The juxtaposition of the Camp David Accords and the Iran hostage crisis encapsulates the duality of Carter's presidency, a period marked by both remarkable achievements and profound setbacks. While the former showcased his diplomatic skills and his commitment to peace, the latter exposed the vulnerabilities of American power and the unpredictable nature of global affairs. Section 6. A new chapter. Embracing the role of citizen diplomat. Despite the disappointments of his presidency, Jimmy Carter refused to retreat from public life. Instead, he embraced a new chapter as a citizen diplomat, harnessing his experience, his moral authority, and his unwavering belief in the power of dialogue to address global challenges. No longer bound by the constraints of elected office, Carter found freedom in his post-presidency, becoming a tireless advocate for peace, human rights, and global health. He traveled extensively, often to regions plagued by conflict or poverty, engaging with world leaders, mediating disputes, and shining a light on forgotten crises. Carter's willingness to engage with even the most controversial figures, including those shunned by the international community, drew both praise and criticism. Yet he remained undeterred, believing that dialogue, however difficult, was always preferable to silence. His efforts extended beyond traditional diplomacy. Carter was a vocal critic of human rights abuses, regardless of where they occurred. He condemned apartheid in South Africa, challenged dictators in Latin America, and spoke out against the persecution of minorities in various parts of the world. His voice, often a lone one in the wilderness, served as a beacon of hope for the oppressed and a reminder to the powerful that their actions would not go unnoticed. Carter's post-presidency was not merely about pronouncements from afar. He rolled up his sleeves, literally in many cases, working alongside volunteers to build homes with Habitat for Humanity, monitor elections in emerging democracies, and combat diseases in developing countries. His actions spoke louder than words, embodying a life dedicated to service and a belief in the inherent dignity of all people. Section 7. The Carter Center, Advancing Peace and Health Around the World. In 1982, Jimmy and Rosalind Carter established the Carter Center, a non-profit organization dedicated to advancing peace and health worldwide. The center, based in Atlanta, Georgia, became the platform for their shared commitment to making the world a better place. Through the center, they tackled some of the world's most pressing challenges, from eradicating diseases to promoting democracy. One of the center's most notable achievements has been its work in global health. The Carter Center has played a pivotal role in the near eradication of guinea worm disease, a debilitating parasitic infection that once affected millions in Africa and Asia. Through public health programs, community engagement, and tireless advocacy, the center has helped to reduce the number of cases from an estimated 3.5 million in 1986 to just 13 in 2022. Beyond guinea worm, the Carter Center has also been instrumental in combating other neglected tropical diseases, including river blindness, trachoma, and lymphatic filariasis. The center's approach focuses on prevention, treatment, and education, working in partnership with local communities, governments, and international organizations. In addition to its health work, the Carter Center has also played a significant role in promoting democracy and peace around the world. The center has observed over 110 elections in 39 countries, promoting free and fair electoral processes and seeking to prevent election-related violence. It has also worked to resolve conflicts, facilitate peace negotiations, and advance human rights in various parts of the world. Section 8. A Legacy of Compassion, Redefining the Post-Presidency. Jimmy Carter's post-presidency stands as a testament to the enduring power of service, compassion, and an unwavering belief in the human spirit. He redefined what it means to be a former president, eschewing lucrative speaking engagements and corporate board memberships in favor of rolling up his sleeves and working alongside volunteers to build homes, monitor elections, and combat diseases. His commitment to peace, human rights, and global health never wavered, even as he entered his twilight years. Through the Carter Center, he and Rosalind created a lasting legacy, one that will continue to inspire generations to come. Their work has touched the lives of millions around the world, providing hope where there was despair, healing where there was suffering, and a voice for the voiceless. Carter's post-presidential journey also serves as a reminder that true leadership knows no expiration date. It is a lifelong calling fueled by a deep sense of purpose and an unwavering commitment to making the world a better place. His example challenges us all to look beyond ourselves, to embrace our shared humanity, and to use our time, our talents, and our voices to make a difference. In an era often defined by cynicism and division, Jimmy Carter's life offers a beacon of hope and inspiration. He reminds us that even in the face of adversity, even when the odds seem insurmountable, one person can make a profound difference. His legacy is a testament to the power of perseverance, the importance of integrity, and the enduring belief that a better world is possible. Section 9, Farewell to a Statesman, Tributes to Jimmy Carter. The passing of Jimmy Carter has elicited an outpouring of grief and gratitude from around the world. Leaders, dignitaries, and ordinary citizens alike have paused to honor a man who dedicated his life to serving others. His unwavering commitment to peace, human rights, and global health has left an indelible mark on the world, inspiring generations to come. President Joe Biden, in a statement released by the White House, praised Carter as a man of unwavering faith and integrity who fought for what was right, no matter the cost. He added, "Jimmy Carter was a giant in American history, a man who, through his words and his deeds, made our nation and our world more just, more peaceful, and more hopeful." Former President Barack Obama also paid tribute to Carter, calling him a man of principle and conviction who never stopped striving to make the world a better place. He added, "His life was a testament to the power of faith to move mountains, and his example continues to inspire us to believe in the possibility of progress, even in the face of daunting challenges." The tributes have extended far beyond the United States. World leaders from the United Nations Secretary General to the Dalai Lama have expressed their condolences and praised Carter's contributions to peace, human rights, and global health. His legacy as a citizen diplomat, a tireless advocate for the less fortunate, and a beacon of hope in a troubled world will continue to resonate for generations to come. As we bid farewell to this remarkable statesman, we are reminded of the words he spoke during his Nobel Peace Prize acceptance speech in 2002. War may sometimes be a necessary evil, but no matter how necessary, it is always an evil, never a good. We will not learn how to live together in peace by killing each other's children. May his words continue to guide us as we strive to build a world where peace, justice, and compassion prevail.